Good morning. It's a beautiful, or beautiful, shall we say, Easter Friday morning. Easter Friday. What are you doing with your day today? Obviously, we're still housebound or apartment bound, depending where you live. It is due to be a gorgeous sunny day. Morning, Jason. How are you? I love seeing your updates the other day with Han drinking on your terrace balcony. It made me think I really missed that view, actually, and I was pining for that beautiful view. Ali, good morning to you. Irene, the lovely Irene. Hello, my lovely. Can't wait for us to have a glass of wine once all this is over. And I said to Steve, we need to come down and have some lobster down at Opus. I do love lobster. Ali Draper, good morning to you. Hope you're feeling well. I just wanted to tune in this morning. Isn't it crazy? I was thinking, it's Easter, and a funny thought came into my head, and that funny thought was, Jesus was originally put in the cave today, and they put the big rock, the big boulder in front of it. And he only lasted 3 days. He had to get out on the Sunday, didn't he? When he had risen. And I thought, gosh, I wonder what he'd make of all this now. We've been locked down for over 2 weeks, coming up towards the end of our third week. So he would have bolted by now. He'd be off. Jason, have just finished putting some pics of Grace into frame. Ah, how lovely. Oh, please send me a picture of those when you've done that. That's beautiful. So anyway, it's Sunday. It's not Sunday, it's Friday. It's Easter Friday. I was thinking of Easter Sunday. Brain's been so busy with things. It's Easter Friday. And of course, we talk Fish Fridays. You're supposed to have fish on Easter Friday. That's the rule of thumb. Morning, Chloe. Good morning to you. You and me both. Yeah, definitely. So I thought, what fish do I have in? I did have some salmon fillets in the freezer. Actually, a couple of different cuts of salmon fillets, and I'll do something with those on another occasion. But I'm just going to show you what I'm going to use as my ingredients this morning to make up something really fresh, beautiful on the palate, in line with Fish Fridays. But you may have something similar in your cupboards that you can use. So let me just show you the ingredients I've got here. So I've got 2 tins of John West sardines. I've got half a tin of beans, because I used the other half in something the other day. I've got these peppers in the fridge. I've got 3 mushrooms that I've taken out. I've got more, but I only want to use 3. I've got some olives. I was doing something, you will have seen me with some lime, so I've got a wedge of lime there. I've got this chili pepper as well. I've chopped up a tomato. And also, one of my favourite ingredients to use in food is this piece of celery here. And then I've already primed in the toaster some seed sensations from Hovis, which when cooked will give a lovely crispiness into the bite. And then I've also put into the pan some extra virgin olive oil. Hang on, different messages coming through. Luke Howells, morning to you. Pat, good morning to you. David Fletcher, morning to you. How are you? I've been thinking about Adam recently, funny enough. Hope you're well. Nice to see you this morning. So I'm just going to prep these up and get them cooking in the pan. So this, in this beautiful sunshine, has probably got, we call it a Mediterranean feel, especially when you're using olives. But it doesn't have to be Mediterranean, because we have all of these things accessible to us really easily. And obviously, as I always say, these ingredients aren't set in stone. You can use whatever you fancy. That's the great thing about being able to knock something up in the kitchen. Harry Pride, Lindsay Ann Greenway, love a seed sensation. Yes, indeed, I'm sure. It's always nice on the palate, isn't it? Yeah, so you can literally change these ingredients around. She was up at 5 a.m. baking that seed sensation. I was, just to get it ready for today, you know me. Don't miss an opportunity. And actually, do you know what? It's interesting you say up at 5 a.m. because I actually was up at 5 a.m. I was wide awake before the sun had actually risen. I was wide awake this morning. Michael Passenden, good morning to you, Michael. How are you? Nice to see you on here, on a live. The other thing I like to do when we're cooking up these peppers is to just, and I'll show you again shortly while I just chop them, because I haven't got Steve to hold the camera. He's still in bed or sorting himself out or doing whatever he's doing. So I've got to put the camera there and work on it myself. Amina Hussein, good morning to you as well, my lovely. So I'm just chopping up these green and red peppers, and I'm just going to throw those into this beautiful extra virgin olive oil that we've got in the pan. Can you hear that? Besides the music in the background starting to sizzle up slightly. You're going to get me a wooden spoon whenever you're working with a frying pan. Or a saucepan, actually. Especially if they're non-stick. Only use a wooden spoon. Because if you use anything metal, like a spoon or a fork, that's not metal, or plastic actually, you can use plastic as well, then it will take the lacquer off your saucepan or frying pan, which you probably already knew, but I just want to point that out. Actually, I want to point that out because not everybody does know, and sometimes I have to come running over to Steve as he's using something metal in a saucepan or frying pan. I'm like, no! So just to try and, cookware, if you buy nice cookware, you want it to last. I work with Le Creuset. Le Creuset is a lovely, lovely set. I haven't got a Le Creuset pan, only because I find Le Creuset pans, frying pans, far too heavy, and you want something that's quite agile and light on the wrist. So there we are. So I'm putting into this pan all this beautiful colour, which I'll show you imminently. I'm just chopping as we speak. Michael McCulley, you're always so naughty, aren't you? I don't know what you mean. Oh yes, you could be having a wash. So it is Easter Friday. Have you, when I nipped into Sainsbury the other day to pick up a couple of essentials, I was chatting with a person in there and they'd reduced the Easter eggs. And I said, is nobody buying Easter eggs? Obviously nobody's going out, so the normal footfall they get is a lot less. So they'd reduced the Easter egg. So if you want to buy an Easter egg for somebody, like our local Sainsbury has reduced them from £10 to £7. That's not a bad discount, it's almost a third, isn't it? So it's a great time to buy Easter eggs, but of course, social distancing. But the supermarkets are helping us do social distancing. I'm quite fortunate because I live in the city centre. Then there's not many people. It's only the people that live here, really. There's not many people travelling in and out for work. Look at this, look at these beautiful colours. Cooking in there already. And you can smell those lovely fresh peppers. And of course, peppers, I actually said 5 times more. I don't know where I got 5 from the other day. But peppers have 3 times more vitamin C than oranges. So they're really, really good for boosting your immune system. And of course, that's what we all want, strong immune systems. And I don't just mean during coronavirus. I mean, as a whole, the world has got a lot more pollution in it these days. And one of the things that we certainly should be doing is boosting our immune system and making ourselves feel better, so that we can, firstly, so that we can be good to ourselves. It's really important to look after yourself. But I'm throwing all of these in now. And of course, to get a long, healthy life, you want to be good to yourself. Your body is like a car, or like a computer, and you get the best out of it by putting the best into it. So whether that be, if it's a computer, like the size of the RAM and how much you can deal with at the same time, and processor speed, etc. A car, like the best oils and filters, and you know, you have to service it and look after it. And our body is exactly the same. And I don't know why people don't treat it the same. Let me be honest, I have been one to abuse my body over the years. We just do, don't we? It's we go out and we drink and we party and we take recreational pharmaceuticals. You may have done in your younger past, going out clubbing and things. But there's so many different ways. Smoking is another one as well. There's so many different ways we can abuse the body. But even if you abuse the body, you've still got to be nice to it as well. So put in vitamins and goodness and water, or detoxing on occasions, is really, really good for you. I'll save that bit of pepper for another time. So here we have now, look at this, cooking up in the pan. We've got, you can hear them bubbling away, these beautiful, beautiful mixed peppers, tomato, mushroom. The olives are now in there as well. We've got the chili pepper in there, along with the red and green bell peppers. 1 stick of celery chopped up in there, all being coated by that lovely olive oil. I might just put a touch more olive oil in there. And olive oil's got a lovely rich flavour as well. And then I've got these 2 tins of John West. I've also got this half a tin of beans. So I'm going to get the half a tin of beans and I'm just going to pour it in there. Now you can do this with or without beans, depending whether you like them or not. And good morning to you. Oh, so many lovely people on here this morning. Tom Barnwell, lovely to see you this morning as well. It's you that's saying it. Nigella would be proud. I'm sure she would, yeah. I'm also going to put in here, just to give it some, we put the tomato in there, we've got some tomatoes in there. I'm going to give it a bit of extra richness with this tomato puree. And of course, all of this works well together because also the sardines come in a tomato sauce, which is great. So what you're doing is you bring in a contrast of flavours together, but also you've got a base flavour, which is the tomato that goes through the dish, which also helps to bring them all together. Now I'm also going to add a touch of red wine vinegar to this. I know wine is obviously my thing, but this is red wine vinegar. It's not wine, not wine. So I'm just going to put a touch, only a touch. You don't want to overdo it because you don't want strong vinegar flavour in there, but that will be a little bit acidic in there. I've got a piece of lime to put in there, but I haven't got any fresh lemon, so I'm going to use some of this. I always keep a bottle of lemon juice in the fridge. We're going to give that a few shakes, and I love using a bit of lemon in there as well because that will really help distinguish the different flavours in there. It sort of, in my mind, it creates a bit of a separation of flavours, and it gets you to taste the different flavours. The lemon just activates a different part of the palate, which for me is just beautiful. I'm going to squeeze a bit of lime in there as well. That's lovely. I'm actually going to throw that piece of lime in. I'm going to cook with that piece of lime in there so we get the oils out the skin as well, which is a little trick of the trade. I just have to remember to find that piece of lime when I'm serving up. Just wash that off my hands. So that's it. All of that mix is in there now. So what I'm going to do is just open up these sardines. Good morning, Gary Lawrence. And there they are, look, nice and rich. Some people like these, some people don't, but it's Fish Friday, so I'm just gonna put these in the pan. There's 3 in that tin there. And there's also 3, actually I'm wondering whether to use the other tin, because if I show you in this pan now, for breakfast I've actually made a lot of stuff, so we might just use that fish and break it down to get the flavours of the fish in there, but I don't think we actually need so much fish, so I'm just going to break this up. It'll break up anyway as it cooks, and it will add, as you know, sardines are a very strong flavoured fish, so that's going to go into the dish anyway. But we've got the beans, and I think that's enough for 4 pieces of toast. So I'm going to put the other tin of sardines back. Sorry, almost dropped my phone as I dropped the oil. Right, so there we are. So that's now cooking up, and we just want to get the heat into there. I'm going to put the toast on. So there we are. Toast is now cooking. That's what we want, to get the best from that. The pan has got all this lovely mix and beautiful colour in there. And that is cooking away now. We just want to get the heat through all of that. Incredible. Those flavours. Oh, if you could smell this now, the flavours, the aroma, you can smell what you're going to taste in there. And of course, you know, being human beings that we are, we always eat with our eyes first because we think, oh, does that look appetising? Then the smell is the next thing that normally gets us going, the aroma from the food, and you're like, oh, that's normally what gets then the juices flowing on the palate, and then you get stuck in, and hopefully you eat it and enjoy it. So what are you all doing with your Easter Friday? Anybody got gardening planned? Anybody going to sit and sunbathe in a garden? Anybody reading? Hopefully you're going to... It's just really frustrating, isn't it? I will have to go for a walk for my exercise because obviously I live in a city centre apartment, so I'll pop my shorts on, and I'll have a little walk a little later on just to get my daily exercise. Obviously social distancing, we are quite fortunate, there's hardly anybody in the city at the moment. Now this might seem really random, but I just want to add a bit more juice to this, so I'm just going to add a little bit of wine, and I know it's breakfast, but actually it will cook in the mix, so the alcohol won't be there, but the benefit of using wine is that, unlike the vinegar, it won't be so strong, and you won't get that vinegary flavour. It will just add to the fish that's in there. Bit of a tip. Now, of course, as I'm mixing all of this in, it doesn't look the most appetising, or maybe it does, because when you put beans into something, the same as they do in Europe, and in many parts of the world actually, beans can make it look like a totally different dish. But of course what we've got in there is the protein as well, to go with that fish, and these beautiful coloured vegetables. So here we are, and you can smell those sardines coming through. And remember, I said it's Easter Friday, so it's Fish Friday. Toast is almost cooked. And that's that beautiful seeded batch, Seed Sensations from Hovis. Going to make lots of hot-cross bun bread and butter pudding. Oh, really? Actually, I don't know if any of you are joining Brum's Big Black Tie Bash on Sunday, which is going out live on the internet. It is a ticket-only event, so you can get tickets through Eventbrite and Facebook. But you have to go to the Brum's Big Black Tie Bash page. You can find a link on my Facebook page that I've put on there. But we've got Alex Claridge from the Wilderness, and he's making a hot cross bun, bread and butter pudding, and it looks incredible. I've seen what he's making, and it just looks absolutely amazing. We've also got Glyn Pennell, who's going to be cooking something pretty special and also doing a great dessert on there as well. And then there's 135 other artists, everything from snake charmers, saxophonists, musicians, contortionists, comedians. The list is just absolutely huge. It's going to be a really, really exciting night. So if you're doing nothing on Sunday and you want to help raise some money for the NHS, Hospitality Action, and some of the local artists, then please do go to Brum's Big Black Tie Ball and get involved for Sunday night. It's taking place 7 until 10, and you can sit and have a tipple and watch an array of entertainment, and it should be a really good night. Some messages come through here. Oh, I was chatting away, and look what I've done to the toast. So the question is, in these hard times, do I recook any more, or do I scrape off the black? I'll let you decide for me. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to scrape off the black because there's people out there that are starving. So why would I not scrape off the black? I could throw it away. But actually, not two burns. Ow, it's hot. Ow! Ow! It's definitely hot. So we'll just get rid of some of that extra blackness that we don't want on there. Fortunately, we'd caught it in the nick of time. Well, just after the nick of time, but not too bad. There we are. So that toast is all extra flavour. Yeah, it is indeed. I like it, actually, really well toasted. I always like well-cooked toast. I don't like bready toast as such, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to do two things because I do like my flavours and I like to contrast. So one of the things that the Chinese do is they mix hot and cold, sweet and sour. You get the idea. So I'm just going to... Oh, the bowl is in the microwave. So what I'm going to do instead is use a cup. Which one should we use? 101 Dalmatians. That's probably good for a mix, isn't it? Because they have a mixed coat of black and white. So perfect. And Cruella de Vil also has a mixed coat. And in fact, she has a mixed hair as well, doesn't she? Probably not the best angle. You can probably see up my nose right now. But what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to put some lemon juice and some tomato puree into a cup. And then I'm also just going to add into there one of my favourites, which is either sour cream or the other one being creme fraiche. I think that's enough. And I've just put them into a bowl because what I'd like to do once we serve this onto a plate is just decorate, finish with this mix of a bit of tomato puree, lemon and sour cream on top. And what that will also help is give that lovely fresh flavour to this beautiful Mediterranean Fish Friday dish. Right, good, that's served up. So it is going to be a beautiful day. It is Easter Friday. Whether you're religious or not, it normally affects how the working week finishes. So a lot of people have broke up now on holiday if they're not already furloughed. Right, let's turn that off. I'll do it over here. I spoke to my friend yesterday after somebody commented the other day, and I had already been looking about getting a kitchen island to be able to... We've got all this beautiful space in the apartment, but actually I'll show you. I'm going to take a walk. So if I stand down the other end, up against the window, we've got this beautiful big apartment, but in the kitchen, you know, we'll have a look out the window while we're here. Look at this. A lonesome train going in. I'd say it's probably running Sunday service. Yeah, so we have this beautiful big beautiful big apartment, but not really much space for serving. So here, I want to build we'll call it a kitchen island, because that's what it needs. Hang on, some messages come through there. It's called Good Friday. Yeah, Easter Friday, Good Friday. I call it Easter Friday because it's Easter's Good Friday. Because I come from a hospitality background, I always relate to Easter Friday as Easter Friday. But yeah, Good Friday is also the one. Thanks for that, Ali. Right, what am I doing? Butter. As you know, my favourite. I should do adverts for Lurpak. If anybody from Lurpak is watching, yeah, I'm happy to come and do some adverts for you. Why wouldn't you use Lurpak? That's the question I ask. So we're just going to put a nice lashing of butter on here. And what a way to start your Good Friday than with a beautiful fresh Med style fish dish, because it is all about having fish. And of course, it's not just about having fish. The great thing is using fish, it's really good for you. It's high in protein, it's high in omega-3s. All of those things are really good for boosting your immune system as well. And, you know, we are talking coronavirus lockdown, being safe, looking after yourself, and just doing the best that you can do to keep yourself fit and well. So, of course, getting incredible nutrients. A lot of people miss this out and they're like, self-isolate, self-isolate. Yes, follow the rules, stay safe, but also be good to yourself. So while you're indulging in alcohol and eating piggy foods or having deliveries or whatever it may be, make sure you're taking in lots of nutrients that are going to really boost your immune system. Garlic is a good one for that as well. There's quite a few different Indian spices. Cumin is good for it. What's the yellow one called that's on the tip of my tongue? That's good for it as well. You know, and just look after yourself. Right, okay, so this is really simple. I'm just going to serve this up onto a plate in my rather tight space here, and then I'll show you as I've done it. Brain function, yes, also fish oil is really good for brain function. In fact, I don't know if you can see, there you are, that one there, that is my super strength omega-3 fish oil, 2000 milligrams, I think it says on it. I think the mg stands for milligrams. Right, so I'm just going to serve this up onto there, like so. That one onto there, like so. It's not the easiest one to keep tidy as you pour it out, but it's all going down the same hole, so it don't matter where it really falls on the plate. And what I didn't do was take out the piece of lime, so I need to find that somewhere. Or I might just say to Steve, there's a piece of lime in there. So, oh, I found it, there it is. So we put that in the bowl. And then look at this, this is that lovely sour cream, lemon and tomato puree that I put together. Where's the lens? There it is, can you see that? So I'm just gonna decorate the top with some of that, and that's going to give a beautiful fresh, it's going to cut through those other flavours and just help you enjoy the whole complexity of this dish. I'm going to decorate with a little bit of black pepper, I'm going to grab out that piece of lime that we've just cut the oil out of. And then this is how I'm starting my day on this Easter Friday, Good Friday. Are you putting wine in this weather? Yes, I did, Debbie, only just to thicken it, to loosen it up slightly. But of course, when you're cooking with wine, it cooks the alcohol out of it generally. There might still be a little bit in there. I'm not saying it's totally alcohol free, but it enhances the flavour. Ali, bit of background in case you don't know. When I was a child, we didn't eat meat on any Friday in 1967. The new Pope changed the rules, so only Good Friday was it forbidden to eat meat.
That's how fish became the dish of Good Friday. Oh, right. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, so I don't practice to be a Christian in any way, shape or form. But my mum always used to follow the rules of Good Friday eating fish. And actually, I remember when I was a child, a lot of the time, we used to eat fish on Fridays generally. There'd be some sort of fish dish on a Friday. And sometimes that was fish and chips from the chip shop, which was always a treat. Which is great. So here we are. Look, this is the final dish. So in there, we've got that. We start off with that beautiful Hovis seeded sensations bread. Then we've got the celery, the red and green peppers, bell peppers. We've got the red chili pepper. We've got did I say celery already? We've got half a tin of beans that we had in stock. We've added some olives, some black and some green, and some marinated garlic in there. Some lemon juice, some lime juice, some vinegar. And then we've topped it with this creme fraiche that's got some tomato puree and what? And lemon juice. Yeah, tomato puree, lemon juice, creme fraiche. Soured cream, sorry, not creme fraiche, soured cream. I do swap between the two. And that's going to be my start and Steve's. I'll get His Highness out of bed now or out the shower, wherever he is. And we're going to dine and eat that. So I'm not going to stay on any further. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. Whatever you have for your breakfast or lunch or supper today, I hope you enjoy it. Enjoy the flavours. Be grateful for what you've got, because there's many in the world that don't have what we have on many different levels. And just appreciate, this quality time that you've got to spend either on your own, doing something nice, or with friends. Different messages coming through. I'm Pecturian, so every Friday is Fish Friday. Oh, lovely. Yeah, okay. Mark, you'll be becoming the new Jamie Oliver when you get in your own show. Oh, you ought to write off to whoever you need to write off to and say, you need to get Phil Oldershaw on. This morning would be a good one, wouldn't it? Although, can't see Gino Di Campo being knocked off the spot for a while. Definitely something I'll be trying. Thanks, Phil. Oh, bless you, Lindsay. Good. I really hope you do try it. Anybody want any tips and advice, feel free to give me a shout. But please keep watching and sharing. If ever you want to share what I'm doing, feel free to share the video. Catch you all later, everybody. Love you loads. Take care. Bye-bye.